So we've decided to have the existing floorboards restored at the entrance of the house so that there's something from the original layout when you walk in. So far I've pulled up all of the carpet grips that were along the edges of the entryway, and now I'm working on pulling up the staples that had been holding down the underlay. So this is very finicky work, but it's going to be really rewarding to have a nice polished floor when you first walk in.
It's just a bubble though, it's not like a tear.
No, it's not. Like the whole thing. Like a bubble inside the bag.
What? Yeah, inside.
That's weird. So before, the sanding disc got this weird bubble in it. So I had to rush out to Bunnings to get some more sanding discs. And we'd only done this section before it bubbled.
User error, I reckon.
But just
Okay, we've been sanding and sanding and sanding, and it's hard to know when to stop sanding, but we've decided to stop, and there is dust absolutely everywhere. So we've cleaned up the higher sanding tools, and Sam's going to take those back to Bunnings, and I'm going to attempt to clean up some of this dust. Okay, so here it is all sanded. Looks nice and flat, and we can see there's some sections here which have come up really nicely, but then there are some sections which have some bore damage in it, and I've been umming and ahhing about whether to just leave it and whether that'll be strong enough or whether I should fill it. There's quite a few patches, and some boards are worse than others. So what I think I've decided to do is to fill it. Let me just go grab my timber filler. Here we go, hardwood timber mate. So I have no idea what this timber is, but it was built post just after World War II, so they probably used what they had available to them. There's a lot of mountain ash in this area. Possibly that's what it is. The colour is good, but it's impossible to get a perfect match. So I think I'm going to tint it. You can darken up the putty with, got some stain, which I'm also thinking about how to use on the floor. But so I'm going to darken that up and put that in some of the damaged parts of the floor. Not getting anywhere, adding little bits. So I'm going to try and add a decent amount. Wish me luck. This could work. I've gone to more of a dark chocolate. But it's still very brown. I was hoping to get it near to black. We'll put some more in. We'll have one more go, and then we'll probably call it. Oops. Well, it's definitely going to be dark now. Might also be liquid. No longer putty. I did say it was a bad idea. Did I? Oh my god. Yeah, no, this is very bad. It does, doesn't it? Okay, well, I think that's the darkness I was going for. That's a lot of dye. It's very runny. Probably gonna have to let it dry off a bit before I can use it. But there you go. That's how much you need to add to get it dark.
So yesterday, Jason put this wood filler on the borer holes, coated nearly all the floorboards. And now that it's dry, today we're going to sand it back down.
More sanding. More sanding.
Pity we returned those Bunnings sanders. Should have kept them for a bit longer. But this is kicking up less dust at least. So we're gluttons for punishment. I've just been to Bunnings and hired the sander again. We figured that's going to be easier than sanding all of this by hand. So Jason's just fitting it up, ready to go.
Also, when you get this bag, you can move it. So if you need to get close on one edge, you can just move it over this way. Didn't know that last time.
No, that's actually funny.
The boards along here are fairly damaged in some spots, so I'm just going to go over that front edge with some beading. We spent way too much time on this floor, and all the preparation was done, and then done, and then done again. So we're calling it. We had to rehire the sander from Bunnings, and we're now going to tint the final clear coat and then put it on. Just sanding the last bits of putty before we start finishing.
Start finishing.
So we've got this floor seal, and we've got the tint, which is stain. A couple of different ways of doing it. We're going to take kind of the cheats way, I guess. You can add up to 10% of this into this. So we're going to pour it all in this bucket, and then pour some of this in, up to 400 ml, and see what happens. Looks pretty dark in there already, but supposedly you can make it darker with this. So. A little bit more. There we go, first coat done. Oh, it's the most effort I've ever put into some old floorboards, but they look pretty good, and put a second coat on it. They should look, should look good. So there you go, first coat.
What are you doing?
Turn the light off.
Why can't you do it like a normal person?
Because the floor's wet. First coat's dry, it's pretty patchy, so hopefully about to give it a sand, flat sanding, and then second coat, and hopefully it gets a bit more uniform after that.
Hey Cinderella.
Maybe what to say. Just cleaning it before we put the second coat on.
So you've sanded it?
Yep.
And now you're using terps, is it, to clean it up?
Just lightly damp cloth of terps, not too much, otherwise it'll just take all the finish off. Don't want to make it wet again, just want to get the dust off.
Second coat's going on. How are you feeling about the colour now?
Yeah, it's just nerve-wracking, that's all. Don't know why.
Jason has finished the final coat of finish on the floor. Hopefully we don't have a repeat of last time, which resulted in lots of dust and grass flying in under the gap in the door. So today he has taped the gap, hoping that nothing bad happens this time. And our floor is finally finished. So well done to Jason for doing such a wonderful job on it. We can walk on it, we can sweep it, we can vacuum it, we can mop it. Needs a mop, but it's finally finished. So end result. We're going to put some trim on this carpet, which is what that metal is there. We accidentally damaged the trim with a trolley. Don't tell the carpet installers. But I've put some more carpet trim ready to install this weekend. So other than that, all finished.